Hi, I wanted to share with you something that's very exciting today. Had a little delivery, a little bundle of joy from Amazon. What's really interesting is that this book has arrived from Amazon before the box of books has arrived from the printers, and I think that's an indication of the way our world is changing. You see, we're undergoing currently the age of accelerations. Everything's getting faster and faster. The IT, all the technology is getting faster and faster, accelerating really quickly. The way we communicate, both with each other, even our immediate families, as well as people right across the planet, is changing. We've got changes in climate. We've got changes in the way that commerce is happening, hence Amazon. And we've got changes in the business. And what happens is that with changes in business, means that leaders need to do things in a different way. We've got a new generation, we've got the millennials in the workforce now. They've got a lot of different, as a generation, have different culture, different values to the environment they're moving into. And what leaders need to do in order to be successful, when the business is changing, the commerce is changing, their staff are changing, leaders need to be flexible, resilient, and move with the times in order to keep on changing. There's changes in branding that's come up, so that leaders now have to really step up, and there's more personal brands. So people, everybody in a company is becoming more and more visible to generate a relationship with the new customers and to create that level of trust and really do business well. So the whole world is changing, particularly leadership. So this is where we come back to this book. So if I just unravel it to a dramatic reveal here, and what you will see is a beautiful, fit-for-purpose leadership #1 book. And this is a collaboration, hopefully you can see here, of 18 different authors, 18 business leaders sharing the highest value advice on health, mindset, social meaning and purpose, best practice and emerging trends. So this is a compilation book of which I am delighted and honoured to be a co-author. And what this is setting out for leadership, how it needs to change, how it needs to evolve. And it's taken it's taken this really global view of what's going on in leadership and what is changing. And just like people are becoming more visible online in social media and for their brands, for their companies, we've got step changes in science. So we're seeing new science of behavior, new science of the physical body, how the mind and the body interrelate, and we've got all these different changes, all these different findings, and this is encompassed in this wonderful book. So I have to give a shout out to my co-authors, Karen Ingram, Peter Alton, Neil De Silva, Dom Mason, Elizabeth Banks, Sarah Ann Lucas, Sean Foley, Joy Zareen, Daniel Brown, Tara Halliday, that's me, Robert James, Ben Green, Pad McCorum, David Samuel, Hilary McGowan, Susan Payton, Antoinette Oglethorpe and Andrew Priestley. And a particular shout out to Andrew Priestley, who this is his brainchild and he's the editor, so thank you for doing such a brilliant job here. So why is this relevant? It's relevant because the world is changing so much and so quickly. But if you're anything like me, you've read how many 100 books, and for me, I now know that there are 7 habits and 4 agreements and 10 secrets and this, that, the other, and neuroscience is now showing us that we just can't handle all of that. We just can't handle trying to change too much at once. We get overwhelmed and we just give up. And I don't know if that's your experience, but you might have a stack of books with great ideas, but unless they're implemented in your life, they're not going to work. So this is how I work with my clients, and this is how I'd recommend you work with this book. You take a look, and I'd recommend you have a browse through, read it all through, and decide which of those aspects is going to have the most impact in your life. Now that can be a positive impact. It's going to have the most results for the shortest amount of, so here we're looking at the 80-20 rule, if you're familiar with that, where 20% of what you do gets 80% of the results. So if you're looking at changes, you're looking for the smaller results that will give smaller changes that will give you the biggest results. So look in here for what will give you the biggest change, or what will give you the release the stress of some toxic environment, something that you're doing, and it's something about the environment. It's all in here, and then what you do is you focus on that one thing. And what you do is you continue to focus on, so you've got one thing that's kind of like, first of all, it's in the front of your mind, and yes, you're focusing every day and making sure, yes, do I tick that box, do I tick that box, do I tick that box, all in the same thing that you're trying to change. And then gradually that'll move to the back of your brain, and what will happen is it'll become normalized, and then that change will become automatic. It won't need your conscious attention, it won't need your full willpower to be able to implement it. And once you've got one change made, then you go on to the next, kind of like triage in the medical arena. It's exactly that. So that's what I recommend you do. Take a look at this book. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a #1 bestseller in the UK in 3 categories and in Australia, so it's already done really, really well. And best of all the proceeds go to charity. So currently we've got the proceeds of this book, which is a mere £10, €12 or $15 US. The proceeds are going to the relief of the hurricane disaster that we've recently seen in the US and the Caribbean. So well worth the investment, well worth looking. And what I'm going to do with this, as I said, my box of books is on the way, but this first one, I'm going to dedicate to and also send to a personal mentor of mine, Mo Nawaz. Mo gave me some fantastic advice at the beginning of this year, which has had some amazing impact in my business, and without whom I wouldn't be involved in this kind of project at all. So thank you, Mo, and thank you for listening, and go out and buy it. It's on Amazon.